Welcome back to the Homestead. I'm Jacob from Sustainably Yours. Now, before I continue with this video, I should tell you that it was inspired by Homestead Aquarius. He posted a video the other day where he showed his backside, and it was hideous. No, I'm just kidding. So what we're talking about, he posted a video where he kind of showed what was going on behind where the camera is, right? The part of his property that you never see because it's never on camera. It's always behind the shot. It was his backside. And he was showing how it was kind of disheveled and a mess, which it wasn't that bad. I can show you some backside. As a matter of fact, I am here behind the barn because I'm going to show you a little bit of backside today. But in his video, Homestead Aquarius did a little bit of cleaning his backside, and it kind of got me inspired a little bit. Well, that and my wife's constant nagging about all the junk that's back here by her goat barn. Admittedly, it is kind of overgrown, and there's some junk in places that junk shouldn't be. A little bit of junk in the trunk, speaking of backsides. But she got out here the other day, and she happened upon a snake. Now, it was just a rat snake, or a chicken snake, whichever one you want to call it, but that is little consolation to her. So, I have been instructed to get out here and knock some of this stuff down. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to clean up some of our backside. But before we get started on the cleanup, let's get a good before shot of all the stuff that we've got to get to. I'll give you the grand tour. Okay, so I'm pretty sure a lot of this is wild blackberry, and they made some pretty decent blackberries. But I'm thinking this is gonna have to go in large part. So we'll have to brush hog all of this down. But we'll have to be careful, because I know when you get up in here around the barn area, there's a lot of debris, pipe pieces and things like that. Things that I didn't put here. They were just kind of here when we moved in. So I guess I'm showing you a little bit of somebody else's backside too, huh? More blackberry. And again, these are pretty darn good blackberries, especially for wild ones. Chia. See, I generally don't even care for blackberries, but this year's crop, it was really good. Man. Then we have this mess of stuff right here. I don't even know what this is, but it's gonna have to go. Speaking of Homestead Aquarius, check these out. Passion flowers and passion fruit. I'm finding these all over the pasture, and I'm just waiting till I get one of these things that look to be a little bit right. I've been wanting to get a hold of one of those for the last 2 or 3 years, actually. But this stuff, it's mean, mess you up. So this is gonna have to go down, and there's a whole line of it that goes all the way through the pasture there. We'll have to get to that. This is my mess. I have a whole bunch of tin that I've pulled, and I intended to stack it up somewhere nice and neat. Yeah, okay. Some fence panels that I'm gonna use. Again, I intended to pile them up somewhere nice and neat. No excuse for this stuff. These are just the plastic bands that were around some hay. Those should not be there. Plastic should not be there. More barn tin and scrap wood. I planned on stacking up. These blackberries are gonna stay. I have grown quite fond of this particular blackberry bush. See, this one right here, we have a whole swarm of carpenter bees that kind of live in our barn. They are wonderful pollinators. Look at that wild blackberry. Delicious. And then we come around where I put up the fencing. There's more junk in there. I'm gonna have to, it's gonna be tough. See, look at all the more pipes. These were right up against the wall of the barn when I first moved in, but since we were building there, I put them out here thinking I would stack them up, but I waited so long that now they're tangled up in all the grass. Way to go, me. Did they throw you in some scraps? Good stuff, isn't it, Mammy Goat? There's Mammy Goat and her little baby, And there's Debbie Cakes. Gracie's getting kind of big, isn't she? And that brings us back around to where the tractor is parked. Oh yeah, there's another piece of barn tin. I don't know why I threw it over here under this tree, but it's all grown up. Yeah, procrastination. Now keep in mind, this is not by any stretch of the imagination my entire backside. If we're making the analogy, I would say this is probably just more like a little bit of plumber's crack. I have so many more junk piles. Some of them are useful junk. I'm keeping that. But I have a lot of junk piles that are just junky junk. And they need to go. So I guess I need to spend a little bit of time on that. And you shouldn't get out and do any kind of work like this without some good work gloves. My sister got these for me for either Christmas or my birthday, and they have worked out really well. I've been able to cut down these wild blackberries and just grab them with the gloves on, and nothing at all. Now I will say, when I was messing around with some of that thistle out there, those kind of poked through. But thistle is a different animal. Well, plant, I guess. So if you're looking for some pretty good work gloves that aren't too super expensive, then I'll put my affiliate link to these things down in the video description. It won't cost you any extra to use that link, but Amazon will kick back just a little bit of a commission to us, and that would really help us out doing things around here on the homestead. So if you're just needing to buy some gloves, we'd appreciate it if you'd use our link. Now let's get this thing started. Well, I've got all of my junk pulled out of their little piles and put into a bigger pile, I guess. Now, it is all junk, but like I said, a lot of this is useful junk. So I am definitely going to keep it, but I'm going to need to put it into the barn. But sorry, I ain't taking you with me in there. That's more of my rear than I am ready to show. I don't know you that well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all of this done, and then, assuming the weather holds up, we'll get out here and mow the pasture down a little bit. Here's what our pasture looked like when we moved in. It was all mowed down and nice and neat. And I let it grow up intentionally because I kind of like the wildlife that it brings. We started seeing bobwhite quail. That's become a rarity around here. There used to be a lot of bobwhite quail here in northeast Arkansas, but they just no longer really have the habitat. So when we let everything grow up, the bobwhite quail started coming in, rabbits. Man, the firefly light shows that we get out here in the evenings is phenomenal. But we're to the point in our homestead development that I think we're ready to start utilizing our property and our pasture for lots of different things, including hay. We're buying hay right now, which is stupid when we have plenty of it right here. So we're gonna have to improve the pasture a little bit. We've got lots of thistle, lots of briars and stuff that need to go away. All these wild blackberries, I like them, but a lot of them, we have more than we need, and a lot of them are in inopportune places, so those are probably gonna go. That's gonna be kind of the next year or two project. Try and get our pasture where our hay would be usable. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one off here. You don't wanna watch me ride around on a tractor. So I'll just end it, and once we get everything mowed down, I'll bring you back and let you see what it looks like. Hopefully you've enjoyed this up close and personal view of some of my rear. If you did, shame on you. But go on down there and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already, and then you can click on one of these right here for more daily sustainable living.